President Barrow appoints 3 new judges to serve in the country's appeal and high courts, respectively. China's president arrives in Riyadh for the 4th China-Arab States Summit. And the Gambia's High Education Minister says the government has no plans to build an Arabic university, saying the UTG has a Department of Islamic Studies. Well, this and more coming your way on The World Today. Hello, this is Eyeafrica TV and you are watching The World Today News Bulletin coming to you live from our studios in Banjul. Many thanks for joining us. I am Amadou Kante and now the news in detail. Now, the Gambian leader, Adama Barrow, acting under the powers vested in him by Section 138(2) of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, appointed 2 judges to the Court of Appeal and 1 to the High Court. Another milestone for the Adama Barrow-led government in its quest to enhance the justice system of the Gambia. The appointment ceremony took place on Wednesday at the State House in Banjul. Yahya Jammeh tells us more of that in this report.
Honorable Justice Veronique Wright and Honorable Justice Seynabou Wade Cissé have been sworn in as Justice of the Court of Appeal and Honorable Justice Aissatou Diallo Cissé as Justice of the High Court. The court is composed of 5 judges, including the Chief Justice. The Gambia Court of Appeal is presided over by the President of the Court of Appeal and is constituted of 3 judges. The court hears appeals from the High Court. President Adam Barrow congratulated the judges appointed for their devotion to duty and remaining in their service to the country. President Barrow added that their hard work and dedication has earned them their positions.
My Lord the Chief Justice has reassured me that, as customary, these judges went through a rigorous selection process before their recommendation by the Judicial Service Commission for appointment. It is therefore by virtue of their hard work, qualifications, competence, and experience that they are recommended to me for their respective appointments to the superior courts.
The President said he does not have any doubt about the appointments of these judges to both the Court of Appeal and the High Court, that they shall yield results to the sector.
As custodians of the law, or justices of the superior courts, and in public trust and timely dispensation of justice are of paramount importance and should always be uppermost on your minds as you perform your functions. As we welcome Justice Wright and Diallo C for the first time on the bench, and the elevation of Justice Wade Cissé from the High Court to the Court of Appeal, we can comfortably expect better results from the sector.
President Adam Barrow praised the leadership of Chief Justice Hassan B. Jallow for his significant achievements concerning the administration of justice in the country and enhancing access to justice for all Gambian citizens and residents of the country. The Gambian leader assured citizens that his government will continue to support the judicial sector for the realization of the objectives expressed in their Strategic Plan 2021-2025. Reporting for Eyeafrica News, I am Yahya Jammeh.
Now moving on, Chinese President Xi Jinping landed in the Saudi capital Riyadh on Wednesday for the 4th China-Arab States Summit and the China GCC Summit, and paid a state visit to Saudi Arabia at the invitation of King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. The Chinese leader hailed the existing bilateral cooperation between the Arab and the Asian nation, saying the 2 countries have enhanced strategic mutual trust and witnessed fruitful practical cooperations in various fields. Here's more details of that in this report.
Chinese President Xi Jinping arrived in Riyadh on Wednesday to a warm royal welcome. 4 fighter jets from the Royal Saudi Air Force escorted his plane as it entered Saudi airspace. Saudi Hawk jets from the Royal Aerobatic Team did a flypast with the red and yellow colors of China's national flag. A 21-gun salute heralded Xi's arrival as the plane touched down at King Khalid International Airport. Xi was greeted upon his arrival by Riyadh's Governor Prince Faisal bin Bandar Al Saud, Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, Minister Yasir Al-Rumayyan, who works on China affairs, and other key members of the royal family and senior officials of government. In a written statement, President Xi extended warm greetings and wishes to the government and people of Saudi Arabia. She said bilateral mutual trust and practical cooperation in different areas have been strengthened since diplomatic ties were established 32 years ago. She said that during his state visit, he will have an in-depth exchange of views with King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud on bilateral ties and international and regional issues of common concern. The leaders of the two nations will chart the course for stronger China-Saudi Arabia relations. The Chinese president also said he looks forward to attending the first China-Arab States Summit and the China Gulf Cooperation Council Summit. He said China is ready to work together with the leaders of Arab states and the Gulf countries. She will be in Saudi Arabia until December the 10th.
And from the report there from the Saudi's capital Riyadh. Now, in other news, following Tuesday's opening of COP15 in Montreal, Canada, the United Nations Secretary General has called for a peace pact with nature, as well as a, dramatic step up in the climate actions. COP15, as the conference is known, convened governments from around the world to agree to a new set of goals for nature over the next decade through the Convention on Biodiversity post-2020 framework process. Mariama Cham again brings us more details of that in this report.
The United Nations chief made these remarks on Wednesday at the 15th Conference of Paris to the UN Convention on Biodiversity. Originally signed at the Rio Earth Summit in 1992 and later ratified by about 195 countries, not including the United States, it is designed to protect the diversity of plant and animal species and ensure natural resources are used sustainably. It also aims to achieve fair and equitable sharing of benefits from natural genetic material used in everything from medicines to new crop species. Without biodiversity, the entire support system for humans as well as animal life will collapse. The world relies on nature to provide it with food and clean water, for a lot of medicines, and to prevent flooding and other extreme weather effects. Now, speaking to reporters at the 15th Conference of Parties to the UN Convention on Biodiversity, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the addiction to fossil fuels has thrown the climate into chaos.
Humanity's war on nature is ultimately a war on ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, that is why I called for a peace pact with nature, a bold post-2020 global biodiversity framework with quantified and targeted goals that address the root causes of this destruction and effective mechanisms of accountability. The addiction to fossil fuels has thrown our climate into chaos. Unsustainable production and monstrous consumption habits are degrading our world, and humanity has become a weapon of mass extinction, as I mentioned yesterday, with 1 million species at risk of disappearing forever.
The United Nations chief urges businesses and investors to invest in sustainable production. Guterres said tough regulations are needed to hold the private sector accountable.
We need businesses and investors to put protection first in their business plans and invest in sustainable production and extraction methods across every link of their supply chains. And we need a dramatic step up. Climate action and protection of biodiversity are two sides of the same coin. And we need tough regulatory frameworks and disclosure measures that end greenwashing and hold the private sector accountable. And we need developed countries to provide meaningful financial support for the countries of the Global South as custodians of the world's natural wealth following centuries of exploitation and loss.
The conference will also look at the implementation of the protocols of the Convention on Biological Diversity and deal with the fair and equitable sharing of benefits from the use of nature and the safe transport, handling and labeling of living modified organisms. Reporting for Eyeafrica News, I am Yahya Jammeh.
Coming back home, 25 border control officials from all of the Gambia security services have completed a 3-week training course on the border surveillance and territorial control organized by the Spanish Guardia Civil. The training aims at mitigating border management challenges posed by translogical advancement and globalization. Moses Mendy has the details in this report.
The Gambia Immigration Department is mandated by the relevant provisions of the Immigration Act 1965 to manage and control the borders of the country. But over the years, challenges posed by technological advancement and globalization have prevented the department from making headways in this endeavor. The absence of strategic operational modalities and patrol equipment supported by professional and well-trained border officials means smugglers and traffickers can easily outmaneuver border controllers. The 3 weeks of training facilitated by officials from the Spanish Guardia Civil has therefore proved a way forward for border control officials to effectively and efficiently confront challenges and threats posed by these criminal activities. The Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department, CDM Toure, believes the training will go a long way in enhancing capacity in the overall management and control of national borders.
This training for the officials will indeed go a long way in enhancing our capacity in the overall management and control of our national frontiers. Additionally, it is envisaged that on the completion of this training, the officers trained would have acquired the requisite knowledge, and I challenge them to implement the best practices that have been learned and equally share the experience with our colleagues. I am of the conviction that this aim has been accomplished given the caliber of facilitators who contributed to the training.
The training is just one of a series of other trainings conducted by the Guardia Civil for officers of the Gambia Immigration Department and relevant stakeholders. Speaking at the closing ceremony of the training program, a representative of the Spanish antenna, Ana Garcia, highlighted areas in which her country has been contributing to the Gambia.
This is a very significant part of the overall work that Spain is doing in the Gambia in security sector. Just the past year, we have engaged in multiple capacity building projects. We have fully launched the COP Gambia project, which is an EDU funding project to fight migrant smuggling and human trafficking. We have further developed the Guardia Civil joint land and sea patrol with the GID and the Gambian Navy, and we have reinforced the Ministry of Interior in their material capacities as well as in their budget support.
Although migration offers great potential to promote economic growth and social development through skills, dynamism and innovation, the state on the other hand has a legitimate interest in safeguarding national security and combating transnational crimes such as trafficking, smuggling and terrorism. These officials who have been awarded certificates for completing the capacity development training will now return to their various posts in the hope of reducing potential vulnerabilities and lapses in the country's border security. Reporting for Eyeafrica News, I am Moses Mendy.
You are watching the World Today News Bulletin on Eyeafrica TV, coming to you live from our studios in Banjul. And from the report there by Moses Mendy, we now take a break and come back shortly. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Eyeafrica TV, and once again, many thanks for joining us. Let's now look at the rest of the stories. Now, the Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Science, Research and Technology, Professor Pierre Gomez, has informed the National Assembly that his ministry has no plans to construct an Arabic university anytime soon, because the University of the Gambia has a Department of Islamic Studies that covers Arabic programs for students wanting to pursue an Arabic university education in the country. Mavuji Sese has the details of that in this report.
During the question and answer session in Parliament on Wednesday, the member for Bundunga Kunda, Yahya Jammeh, asked the Minister for Higher Education, Science, Research and Technology, Professor Pierre Gomez, if the Gambia will build a state-owned university for Arabic education. The minister responded by stating that there are other universities in the country that offer such opportunity for Arabic students to pursue higher education in the country, such as the International Open University that offers higher education for both English and Arabic, and Al-Isham University, which offers Arabic programs including Islamic studies for students graduating from grade 12 in the Arabic senior secondary school systems.
The ministry has no plan to construct an Arabic university anytime soon. This is simply because the University of the Gambia, UTG, has a Department of Islamic Studies that offers programs for Arabic students who want to pursue university education in the Gambia. In addition, there are other universities in the Gambia that offer opportunities for Arabic students to pursue higher education in the Gambia. And these are: 1, International Open University, which offers a range of programs for both Arabic and non-Arabic students in Islamic studies, as well as Arabic languages and even in conventional fields for students from both Arabic and conventional senior secondary schools.
The member for Fonyi Bondali, Pa Dembo Sane, informed the Higher Education Minister that his constituency suffers high school dropout and wanted to know if the government has any plans to establish a vocational and skills training center in Fonyi Bondali to cater for this category of youngsters. Professor Pierre Gomez said that since Bondali is in the Fonyis, just as Kanilai and Ndemban are, it is assumed that the needs of the people of Fonyi, including Ndemban, have been addressed at least in the meantime, noting that classes will commence in both Kanilai and Ndemban in the next academic year.
Therefore, since Bondali is in Fonyi, like Kanilai and Ndemban, it is assured that the needs of the people of Fonyi, including Bondali, are being addressed at least in the meantime. In the meantime, this is what we have, because we want to go for at least the plan that is each region a Tibet center. Once we are able to cover that, if we have resources, we will be able to look at the other areas that might need. But at least Fonyi now, we are able to have 2. Yeah, the Kanilai and Demban, now the construction work is finished. We are now working on the equipment.
The Honorable Member for Sami constituency, Alfuseni Sise, asked for an update on a feasibility study conducted for the construction of multipurpose skills center in various regions of the country. Professor Pierre Gomez responded by stating that the skills gap survey was carried out by the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, NACA, in the 2018-2019, and the report highlighted key skills gaps in each region of the country.
Honorable Speaker, needs assessment and skills gap survey was done by National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, NACA, in 2018-2019. The report of this survey highlighted key skills gaps in each region of the country. We have issues in not having skills centers in each of the regions, and that's the reason why government has come up with that pronouncement to ensure that we have regional skills centers. So far, right now, the West Coast with Fonyi, with the Tibet centers that we are building now, and then LRR in Mansa Konko, that one you've seen it recently, it's now operational. And then in Basse, in Yulagel, we have a Tibet Center there. We want to upgrade it to another level.
The government has laid the foundation stone of the Wasu and Sapo Multi-Skills Center and Agribusiness. Mansa Kongo Skills Center is fully operational, as well as that of Julagen. Mafuji Sise, Eyeafrica News.
Gambia's Higher Education Minister there in Parliament responding various questions from the lawmakers. Now moving on, like many countries in Africa, Egypt is also enjoying a fruitful bilateral cooperation with China in various development sectors, such as infrastructure and many others. Now, China is currently bankrolling a new infrastructure project that is expected to boost Egypt's economic credentials while building wider cooperation. Now, the over $3 billion project will allow for the construction of several major state-of-the-art infrastructures at the heart of the country's new administrative capital. Here's more details of that in this report.
Since upgrading their ties to comprehensive strategic partnership, cooperation between Egypt and China has been outstanding in all fields. In the heart of the new Egyptian administrative capital, an icon of these growing ties stands tall, the Central Business District. The project is planned to shape up the future of the country's economy.
It will attract a big number of international companies who want to enter the Egyptian market. A project like that will make investors, especially Arabs, reconsider their opportunities in Egypt. The project begins a plan to make Egypt a financial and economic hub that connects Africa with Europe.
The $3.8 billion project comprises of 10 business towers, 5 residential buildings, and 4 luxury hotels. In between them, the eye-catching iconic tower stretches for more than 360 meters to be the tallest building in Africa. With over 1.9 million square meters of built-up area and over more than 600,000 square meters of land, this is the biggest project for China's construction arm, CSCEC, on the Belt and Road Initiative.
The CBD has not only become an example of the potential of economic cooperation between China and the Arab world, it also shows how China empowers its partners by transferring its technologies and know-how.
The CBD project in Egypt already introduced so many technologies here. Starting from the skyscraper industries in Egypt, we have many technologies such as the sleeping framework, the climbing tower crane, and also the high pressure pumping machine, the central complex utility, which is going to serve as the brain for this all AI technologies.
The CBD will complement the new generation of smart cities Egypt's new capital plans to be. Engaging 30,000 jobs and 300 Egyptian companies, the experience gained here from China should soon make local skills capable of leading their own skyscraper projects.
And from that report from the North African country of Egypt now to our final story, because the Gambia's economic recovery and growth prospect over the medium term are projected to slow down as the Ukraine war continues to affect global economics, according to Gambia's Finance Minister CDKM Keita. However, improvements in the 2022-2023 tourism season are signaling of a positive move on the path of full recovery. Moses Mendy again with the details in this report.
The Gambia's economic situation has become more and more challenged after suffering multiple shocks from the coronavirus pandemic and the effects of the Ukraine war. Negative economic spillovers are persistent, and despite efforts at strengthening and making the economic more resilient, the government has come to the conclusion that for the medium term, the country's economic growth will experience a slowdown. CDKM Keita, the Finance and Economic Affairs Minister, sums up the Gambia's economic outlook in Parliament a few days ago.
Recovery and growth prospects over the medium term will be subdued as conditions remain precarious as a result of the conflict. With the economies across the world being negatively impacted by the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the global growth projections are being revised downwards, The medium term promises to be challenging. Although the West grapples with the effect of conflict on their real incomes, tourist arrivals for 2022 to 2023 tourist season has improved, signaling positive moves towards recovery in the service sector.
The industry sector is crucial for the economic development of any country. Countries with strong industrial sectors experience more economic growth and development, which then reflects the national income. But it may take a while for the Gambia to reap the benefits of a booming industry sector as performance is set to drop.
Performance in the industry sector is expected to decline slightly as most of the subsectors are directly or indirectly affected by the supply chain disruptions associated with the manufacturing and construction of inputs, which are usually imported from war zones.
The Gambia needs an economic policy reformation to foster resilience. The policies include extension of performance contracts to all state-owned enterprises with a view to improve their financial viability, service delivery, and reducing fiscal risk to the budget, amongst others. Meanwhile, the government continually attributed the economic hardships to the Ukraine war and the coronavirus pandemic. But the absence of price control in the Gambia could also be one of the main reasons for the skyrocketing market prices that have caused Gambians to voice their anger and disappointment with the current government. Reporting for Eyeafrica News, I am Moses Imende.
And you've been watching the World Today News Bulletin on Eyeafrica TV, coming to you live from our studios in Banjul, and from that report there by Moses Imende on Gambia's economy-related matters, we now eventually bring this news edition to an end. But for more details on this and other stories, as always, as ever, you can visit on our website on Eyeafrica.tv. But for now, many thanks for the pleasure of your company. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and bye for now.